get all nasty. And I tell you what, all of you that support Trump, a bunch of hillbillies.
Yep, that's
and
right.
bunch of ingrates. Here we go.
Courtesy of CNN.
And obviously it's false. And look, he also knows deep in his heart that Donald Trump couldn't find Ukraine on a map if you had the letter U and a picture of an actual physical crane next to it. He knows that this is, an administration defined by ignorance of the world. And so that's partly him playing to their base and playing to their audience, the credulous boomer Rube demo that backs Donald Trump, that wants to think that Donald Trump's the smart one and y'all elitists are dumb.
You elitists with your geography and your maps and your spelling, even though
your math and your reading.
Yeah, you're reading, your geography, knowing other countries, sipping your latte.
All those lines on the map.
Only them elitists know where Ukraine is. Sorry, I apologize.
Impeachment is a political question, though not a legal one.
It is by design an inherently political process.
Impeachment is sort of the atomic bomb of political tools.
This has become the soundtrack of our age, that the decision to impeach is political, not legal, not moral, not constitutional. Don't listen to this drumbeat. If you hear someone say impeachment is a political question, don't buy it. The framers of the Constitution certainly didn't. See, the Constitution is a legal document, and impeachment is a constitutional mechanism. Therefore, impeachment is a legal mechanism. It was designed by the framers to permit the Republic to hold the president accountable for wrongdoing while in office.
But by the way,
oh my God!
But you know what? But it was Rick's fault. I blame Rick. But in all honesty,
Blame
what
Rick.
NPR should
Why
do?
not? Sorry, hold on. Wait.
Can I tell you
give
what?
me a second. Hold on. Sorry. That was good. Sorry, Rick. That was a good one. I needed that.
We had a 230-year tradition of rejecting purely political impeachments, and it died last month in this House of Representatives. So, Speaker Pelosi and the House have taken our nation down a dangerous road. If the Senate blesses this unprecedented and dangerous House process by agreeing that an incomplete case and a subjective basis are enough to impeach a president, we will almost guarantee the impeachment of every future president of either party when the House doesn't like that person.
Professor Dershowitz is. Professor, so what exactly is your role here? You're going to be delivering arguments on behalf of the president on the Senate floor, talking about the Constitution. You say you're not a formal part of the legal team. How so?
Well, I've been asked to prepare and deliver the case, the constitutional case against impeachment that benefits the president. It's the same argument I would have made if Hillary Clinton had gotten elected and she were being impeached. It's similar to the arguments I made when I testified as a witness against impeachment of Bill Clinton and when I consulted with the Bill Clinton legal team. I'm there only to argue about the constitutional criteria for impeachment, which I've written about extensively, and why these two articles don't rise to the level of an impeachable offense. I will go into the history of the formulation in the Constitution and the history of how these words came to be, and leave it to others to argue the facts, to make strategic decisions about witnesses. That's not within my jurisdiction.
Wait a second, Alan, why are you playing these semantic games? Whose side are you on? I mean, you're on the part of the defense team. What, are you embarrassed?
You sound like my mother when I said I was
I look
challenging.
like your mother, too.
Well, you wish. I said that I was defending the right of Nazis to march through Skokie, and she said to me, "Son, are you for the Jews or are you for the Nazis?" I said, "Mom, for the Constitution." She said, "I'm your mother. Don't tell me that. You have to pick sides, the Jews or the Constitution. Look, or the Nazis."
That's very interesting, but what side are you on in the impeachment case?
I'm against impeachment. I'm clear about that.
And if you look to the words from the past that I think are instructive, as I said last night, they're instructive because they were right then and they're right now. And I'll leave you with some of those words.
There must never be a narrowly voted impeachment or an impeachment supported by one of our major political parties and opposed by the other. Such an impeachment will produce the divisiveness and bitterness in our politics for years to come, and will call into question the very legitimacy of our political institutions.
This is unfair to the American people. By these actions, you would undo the free election that expressed the will of the American people in 1996. In so doing, you will damage the faith the American people have in this institution and in the American democracy. You will set the dangerous precedent that the certainty of presidential terms, which has so benefited our wonderful America, will be replaced by the partisan use of impeachment. Future presidents will face election, then litigation, then impeachment. The power of the president will diminish in the face of the Congress, a phenomenon much feared by the founding fathers.
This is a constitutional amendment that we are debating, not an impeachment resolution. The Republicans are crossing out the impeachment standard of high crimes and misdemeanors, and they are inserting the words any crime or misdemeanor. We are permitting a constitutional coup d'etat, which will haunt this body and our country forever.
I warn my colleagues that you will reap the bitter harvest of the unfair partisan seeds you sowed today. The constitutional provision for impeachment is a way to protect our government and our citizens, not another weapon in the political arsenal.
I expect history will show that we've lowered the bar on impeachment so much. We have broken the seal on this extreme penalty so cavalierly that it will be used as a routine tool to fight political battles. My fear is that when a Republican wins the White House, Democrats will demand payback.
You were right. But I'm sorry to say you were also prophetic. And I think I couldn't say it better myself, so I won't.
And I'll tell you why. In a few years, if Barbara's boobs start to sag too much, there's a place you can go where they can just lift them right back up where they were, and they can move the nipple wherever they want them. You can actually go to a titty bar, pick out a set of titties, and say, I want those titties on that woman right there. Right? If her belly gets too big and she doesn't want to work it off, you can go get a tummy tuck. They'll give you a belly looks like a cheerleader. You know, if your eyes go bad, you can have LASIK surgery and they can give you 20/20 vision at any age. If your hearing starts to fail, they could put a device in your ear that'll make you able to hear as good as you could the day you were born. But let me tell you something, folks. You can't fix stupid. There's not a pill you can take. There's not a class you can go to. Stupid is forever.
Okay. So
Okay.
a lot of people are saying Trump ought to use this in a campaign ad.
Oh, he probably